Good morning, dear children. Uh, Today we will start in another 1 or 2 minutes because still they are joining. And this session will extend up to 6, though it has scheduled 6:30. Don't worry, those who have their school sessions which will be starting at 6 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock. And don't worry about that. Please keep all the notes which I have provided during these 2-3 days regarding ecology, right? Shehara, do you hear me, Shehara?
Yes, teacher.
At the end of this session, take the number of students in your class, right?
Okay, teacher.
And Minon from 12 English medium biomaths or Ravisha? No. Netma is there, no? Rumeshi? Rumeshi? Rumeshi, do you hear me? Or Netma? No one is there, though you are present. Okay. We will start the lesson. There are about half of them now. Right. Last week we stopped cycling of materials which is to be started. Last week we discussed how energy flows. As I told at the very beginning, this part which I have explained, the materials never comes regularly or in a linear or continuous manner. Only the materials that are existing from the time of origin of Earth, they have to recycle. It change its form from one to the other and exist within that. Right? The materials available for living organisms in the ecosystem is limited. So therefore it is limited. It won't come from any other outside the planet or to the ecosystem. Most probably ecosystem has to regulate according to the requirement from the existing amount. Therefore, these materials should be recycled. The material stock in the ecosystem is decreased when the organisms such as animals, plants, etc. utilize them. So you don't need to discuss in detail because when we continue the microbiology lesson in another 1 week of time, most probably next week, especially 12s also can cope up with the tomorrow's microbiology lesson without any difficulty because last week we just continued uh, where we were discussing, but tomorrow morning 5 o'clock we will discuss a new topic, applications of microorganisms in agriculture. So when we discuss the next part of that lesson, you will understand how materials are recycled. Therefore, that's what I asked 12 also to join, then they can understand what they are learning easily. Then continue. Therefore, when the organism is died, they are decomposed by decomposers. Thus, those materials will be available for the organisms and absorb them into their body and assimilate, and excess will be removed as waste and minerals to the environment. We take and during respiration, when dead parts are parts of plants and matter decomposed by decomposers such as bacteria and fungi, they will return to their elementary form. Then again from plants, they absorb from soil and atmosphere, get into living system, from plants, get into animals. Again in the same routine. So materials are in a cyclic manner. So those are the two different things that we had to discuss regarding the feeding relationships. The feeding relationships are important to transfer energy and materials, but energy continuously received from solar radiation, but materials have to recycle by involving living organisms. Right. This is the second part of the lesson, environmental biology. Environmental biology is generally termed as ecology. That's why I use the topic ecology for discussions, online lessons. Right. On Earth, there are different collections or large number of collections of ecosystems. දැන් මම මේක චුට්ටක් සිංහලෙන් කියන්න එක සැරේ ගොඩක් දෙනෙකුට මම හිතන්නේ පැටලෙන්නේ නැතුව දැනගන්න හින්දා. මේ ලෝකයේ තියෙනවා එක එක විදිහේ ecosystems. ඒ ecosystems exist වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඒ region එකේ nature එක හැටියට. Tropical අපි දන්නා ලෝකේ තියෙනවා tropical region එක, temperate region එක, the polar region කියලා. අන්න ඕගේ තැන්වල එක එක climates තියෙනවා. එක එක earth surface එකේ nature එක වෙනස්. generally ගත්තොත් එක zone එකක තියෙනවා ටිකක් දුරට කියන්නේ ගොඩක් deviate වෙන්නේ නැතුව ටිකක් දුරට තමයි එහාට මෙහාට යන්නේ. generally ඒගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන common දෙයක්. ඒතර ඒ common area එකක common conditions වල හැදෙන ගස් ඉන්න සත්තු ටිකක් එක වගේ. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ ලොකු ප්‍රදේශක distribute වෙලා තියෙනවා, spread වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ හැබැයි ecosystems වෙනස්. එක එක ecosystems තියෙනවා, but ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ තියෙන differences අඩුයි. ඒතර එකම category එකට ගත්තාම ඒ categories වලට biomes කියනවා. ඔන්න ඔහොම දෙයක් ඉගෙන ගන්න යන්නේ, but now I'll start the lesson. And this is just an idea, right? As it has given in the definition, biome is a large geological area. Geological means earth's surface. Geological means the earth's surface. In a large area of earth's surface, right? A large geological area which is classified based on the predominant vegetation. Now the meaning of vegetation, the plant cover, the type of plant, different plants. Sometimes we will use the word fauna, F-A-U-N-A. fauna කියන්නේ ගස් කියන එකට. ඒතර ගස් කොළන් වල එකතුවට තමයි vegetation කියන්නේ. Right? Predominant මොන වගේවද? ගොඩක්ම mainlyම හරිම මේ abundant විදිහට dominate කරගෙන ඉන්න ගස් කොළන් වල හැටියට අපි ඒවා classify කරනවා. But here you have to aware in this chapter we mainly focus on only on land ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystems, not aquatic. වතුරේ තියෙන environments ගැන වතුරේ තියෙන ecosystems ගැන නෙමෙයි අපි ඕගලන්ට මේ syllabus එකේ දුගන්නන්නේ land එකේ ගොඩබිම, right? So ගොඩබිම නිසා තමයි අපි මේ vegetation එක prominent කරගෙන ගන්නෙ. Vegetation adapted to particular environment, right? Okay. The definition is the large geographical area which is classified based on the predominant vegetation adapted to that particular environment. Now, the plants, plant cover which is well found in that, well distributed in that area dominantly. Based on that, we identify different collection of ecosystems in that common physical surface of Earth, and there are different type of terrestrial biomes on Earth. That is mainly due to the different climatic and geographical conditions found in different regions. On Earth's surface, when it gradually moves away from equator, right? When we gradually move away from equator. Now see, if this is planet Earth, this line represents the equator. If we drop parallel lines towards the polar region away from the equator, we call these lines as latitudes, and top part of the regions which we call polar regions, right? And basically we will have an idea about these arrangements. You may have done these things, but I have to recall these things according to my lesson, right? Equator and the latitudes around 33.5 we call Tropic of Cancer, and the northern latitudes here, sorry, northern latitudes and the Tropic of Cancer found in northern latitudes, whereas Tropic of Capricorn found in southern latitude region, right? And the amount of light that we received is vary in this planet Earth. Now see, I have given the regions which we discussed earlier. See the colors, green lines, and 30 it has given in the same color distribution, right? Equator and this region we call it as tropical zone or equatorial zone. It receives large amount of direct sunlight, so it is the temperature is very high. As temperature increases, what will happen to the moist condition? Water evaporates from water surfaces and moist condition is very high, and as temperature increases, it causes to condensation because of the convection, and the area may be too cloudy and high rainfall. We use the word high precipitation. In tropical region, the water falls in the form of liquid which we generally termed as rain. High precipitation කියන්නේ අපිට water may earth surface එකට fall වෙන හැටි. Temperate regions, polar regions වලට එක mist එක, frost එක, snow විදිහට fall වෙනවා. Temperature එක අඩු නිසා solidify වෙලා. But tropical region එකේ temperature එක වැඩි, fall වෙන්නේ liquid form එකෙන්. condense වෙලා තියෙන එක liquid form එකෙන් තමයි rain විදියට fall වෙන්නේ. So high rainfall, precipitation, high temperature. And here we call them as temperate region. Temperate region. From polar regions to tropical region, we identify temperate region, which consists of intermediate sub-equatorial. Here temperate, here prominent equatorial or tropical region. In between that we can find subtropical. Right? So gradually, as it moves away from the equator, temperature decreases since the amount of light received is gradually decreasing. Intensity and the amount gradually decreasing. This is the main reason to determine different climatic patterns. Different climatic patterns all over the earth. මේ ලෝකේ හැමතැනම එක එක විදිහේ climatic patterns තියෙන හේතුව ඒක එක regions වලට reach වෙන නැත්නම් ලැබෙන sunlight ප්‍රමාණය අඩු හින්දා වෙනස් වෙන හින්දා තමයි වෙන්නේ. Then it will determine the type of plants to be grown on earth's surface. Right? What type of plant should be there? So it will determined by the climate, and the plant environment, the plant collection will create different habitats. Now this diagram even shows how sunlight is received, especially when you look at this map. In the southern hemisphere you find little amount of land compared to northern hemisphere. So we prominently discuss about biomes and their distribution with examples found in the northern hemisphere. Now you can see very less amount compared to northern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere has almost very less amount of land. Therefore, we can't talk about distribution of plants on aquatic environment since we mainly focused on terrestrial environments. Now see this map which I have put across high mountains, polar ice cap. We don't have to discuss them in detail. Now have a look at this map and see the distribution with respect to the colors. In the equator surrounding the tropics of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, high temperature, high rainfall throughout the year, then very well developed plants. Density is very high and diversity is very high. Density කියන්නේ එක තැනක තියෙන plants ප්‍රමාණය ගොඩක් වැඩි. ඒ වගේම එක area එකක් ගත්තහම එතන තියෙන plant species ಜಾති ගොඩාක් තියෙනවා. Temperate region එකකට ගියාම එක තැනක තියෙන plants number of plants අඩුයි. එතන තියෙන variation එක අඩුයි. May tropical region ke biodiversity or the plant diversity is very high, as well as large number of the plant density, even very abundance is very high. And this green color patches will represent the first tropical biome we call tropical forest. All types of forest. Now in Sri Lanka, just imagine Sinharaja, Carnelia, Knuckles will represent one particular type of densely packed plants with the rainforest types. As well as when you move towards a dry zone, Anuradhapura, like that area, there are some natural forests, but their plant density and the nature of the plants differ. But all have very good greeny color throughout the year. So all these ecosystems together found in this region considered as one biome. So the large collection spread over a large area. Now see, according to the definition of biome, it explains biome is a large geographical area. Then pena loku area classified based on the predominating vegetation which is adapted to particular environment. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ climate එකේ හැදෙන ඒවා predominantly තියෙන විදිහට යනවා. අපි මේක ගන්නවා tropical forest කියලා. දැන් මේවා නැද්ද arid zone තියෙනවා. but mainly තියෙන්නේ wet zone එකේ වගේ තියෙන ලොකු ගස් හැදිච්ච හොඳ කළුවරටව තියෙන කැලෑවල් වගේ. ඒවා එකතු වුණාම අපි ඒවට කියන tropical forest කියලා. හැමතැනම තියෙනවා. Here Amazon and here the Africa and Sri Lanka. See, we have Sinharaja. All these green color regions will represent Sinharaja and Anuradhapura like plant distribution. Species may be diverse, but the type is same. Then we'll come to savanna. Savanna, just little above, still in the tropical region. Still in the tropical region, right? Savanna, it's a grassland. Grassland. We'll see the diagrams gradually and see. And here the distribution of deserts. Deserts. All these three biomes are known as tropical region. You have to aware the order of biomes, how they are distributed when you move from equator to the polar region. Equator එකෙන් පටන් අරගත්තාම polar region එකට යන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. My dear children, I didn't give you another link. The same link will be there if this session stops in another few minutes of time. So I'll start. You can automatically join, right? There is no particular separate link. Okay, right. Continue. Now, distribution. See, in the tropical region, you find tropical forest, then savanna, grasslands, very sparsely distributed plants. ඒ කියන්නේ ලොකු පිට්ටනිවල වගේ තියෙන ඉන්නවා මේ තනි තනි තැන්වල ගස් තියෙන අපි gradually photos බලවල biome එක ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට discuss කරමු. Then deserts. So deserts are two types, tropical deserts and temperate deserts. But here we mainly focused on tropical region, the deserts that are Kantara, distributed in the tropical region. So these first three biomes known as tropical biomes. A tropical region එකේ තියෙන equator එක කිට්ටුවෙන් තියෙනවා. Then beyond this we call temperate, and the topmost is polar region. See, the next one, chaparral. Chaparral, found in the temperate coastal region. Temperate පටන් ගන්නම හරිය coastal region. See the distribution in the coastal region. And here you find it in Australia, in the coastal region. The desert and the savanna here gradually move up, and here gradually it moves down because that is the order they move from equator to polar regions. Right? Then temperate grasslands. Temperate grasslands. You can see the grasslands. Chaparral, the order then next comes to grasslands. Then broadleaf forests. See the order. Temperate broadleaf forest. ටිකක් ලොකු කොළ තියෙන areas. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන් බලලා ඇතිනේ the Robin Hood බලනකොට Sherwoods වල තියෙන plants වල nature එක. ගස් තියෙනවා ලොකුයි. ඒවැ කොළ ලොකුයි. චූටි චූටි කොළ නෙමෙයි. එතකොට තව autumn pictures දැකලා තිනොට ඒවැ තියෙනවා during the autumn the color change and they fall. We call it as the fall during the autumn in the northern hemisphere. They have broad leaves. That type of collection of plants together create forests. We call them as temperate broadleaf forests. Then the northern conifers, that is the largest biome on earth. ලොකුවට හැමතැනම භූමියේ පොළවේ වැඩි හරියක් dominate කරන biome එක තමයි northern conifers. ඔය pines වගේ conifers කියන්නේ cone shaped trees හැදෙන්නේ. දැන් අපේ නුවරඑළියේ හැදෙන්නේ අපේ ලංකාවේ වනෙමේනේ. පිටරටින් ගෙනල්ලා මෙහි plant කරපුවානේ. දැන් අපේ ලංකාවේ අපි හිතන්නේ නුවරඑළියේදී pines තමයි prominent ඉන්නේ. අපේ තිබිච්ච normal mountain forest ඔක්කොම සුද්ධ කරලා කඳුවල for කියන්නේ English කට්ටිය ඇවිල්ලා තේ වතු හදන්න ඔක්කොම vegetation එක eliminate කළා remove කළා. ඊට පස්සේ soil එක infertile වෙනවා පෝදක නැණ හින්දා vegetation එකක් නැති වුනහම ඒගොල්ලෝ ගෙනල්ලා pinus හැදුවා. ඉතින් අපි හිතනවා අපිටත් pinus තියෙනවා. No, it's not a tropical part. It is found from this region. And this is the predominant vegetation. ලොකුම biome එක ලෝකේ තියෙන conifers කියන්නේ plants හැදෙන්නේ cone shape එකට. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් හිතන්නකෝ ඔය Christmas trees, pines කොහොමද හැදෙන්නේ cone shape එකක්නේ ගහේ තියෙන්නේ. අපේ ලංකාවේ තියෙන කොස් ගහක්, දෙල් ගහක් එහෙම නැත්නම් ලොකු ඔය මාර ගහක් ඒ වගේ විදිහට හැදෙන්නේ නැහැනේ. ඒකයි shape coniferous, and we use another term for this biome. Northern coniferous forests are given as another single word, taiga, T-I-G-A, taiga. I think in your notes it has given as taiga. We'll see gradually. Yeah, no, it has not given, but taiga is another name for northern coniferous forest. Please aware of it, right? That name they will commonly ask. Northern coniferous forest, another name taiga, T-I-G-A. Then tundra or tundra, you can pronounce it as you want, and this is the vegetation found in polar region. See the order from equator to polar region. But here can you see tundra in Antarctic as well as conifers in the southern hemisphere? Since this region is lack of land, you can't find taiga or the coniferous forest. That's why they have used the word northern coniferous. There is no southern coniferous. Though the climate is there, geographical space is not found, then we can't call it as biome, land biome. Here they have aquatic biomes, right? Okay, this is a general idea along with climate and the distribution of plants. Plants mainly distributed. The distribution of plants on Earth determined by two factors, climate and geological nature. Right? Now listen, this is just a summary before we come to first biome in detail. Biome, the vegetation type of plants, is determined by two factors. First is climate, and the other one is the nature or the geological surface. පොළවේ හැටියට. Right? So climate is mainly controlled by the amount and the intensity of light received. ඒ පැත්තට එන light ප්‍රමාණයෙන් sunlight ප්‍රමාණය කොච්චර කාලයක් එක්ස්පෝස් වෙලා තියෙනවද කොච්චර ඉන්ටෙන්සිටි එකක් හම්බ වෙනවද ඒවෙන් තමයි අපේ climate එක determine කරන්නේ. So climate include mainly four. There are some other, but it has given very simply, directly it has given temperature. Precipitation means rainfall or snow or frost. It's vary according to the region. And amount of sunlight or the light, mainly the light and wind. Then හිතන්න පුළුවන් මොකද්ද මේ fact එක sunlight දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Temperature determined by sunlight. Precipitation is as a result of this temperature, and the wind pattern. Sunlight means it can ඒ තැන් වලට තියෙන එළියත් climate එකේ එක කොටසක් විදිහට ගන්නවා. Everything depends on the light comes towards the earth. And together these factors will determine the nature of the environment, right? You can go through the notes with what I have given leisurely, take the idea, and we'll come to the first biome in 1 or 2 minutes of time. Most probably this session will end. No need of considering another password. So the same continuation when I start, you can join, right? Please, you have to read a lot and take your own time with your self-study. So I will send some questions gradually as I have given. I have already given some questions from my previous lessons which I have posted. හැමතිස්සෙම බලන්නේ මට පුළුවන් වෙලාවට මම එක notes questions ලියලා දානවා උත්තරත් එක්කම උත්තරේ ලිව්වේ නැත්නම් උත්තරේ තියෙන page number එක හරි දානවා. එතකොට ඒවා කියවලා උත්තරයක් පුරුදු වෙන්න. ඔය structured essays වලට දෙන්න පුළුවන් questions තමයි මම ඔය හැමතිස්සෙම ලියලිය දෙන්නේ ඕගොල්ලන්ට. හරිද? Right. And when it comes to this map, don't ignore, this is one of the major things. They can give a map, and ask different questions. What type of vegetation is found? What type of plants? ඔම මේ region එක ඒගොල්ලෝ mark කරලා නම් එක්කලා නැත්නම් මේකේ ඉන්න distribution එක. කොහොමද මේ උඩ ඉඳන් පල්ලෙහා sorry equator එකේ ඉඳන් polar regions වලට යද්දී තියෙන order එක. Now this is the order starting from equator, tropical forest, savanna, deserts, chaparral, broadleaf temperate grasslands, then come to temperate broadleaf forest, taiga or conifers, and then come to tundra.